Yo, what's going on, guys? It's a boy Liswa Mutupi, and today I'm super excited because we literally killed NFP. We took a buy on US30 and the market just shot upwards. Maybe I'll get to show you guys a sneak peek of it, what actually did happen. But I want to speak about today how I actually started trading Forex, the currency market, even like to be more specific, at the age of 19 years old. I just wanted to be a bit more specific with the title because I know a lot of people are like, when did you start? You know, all these questions that are like something that I don't mind talking about, and hopefully you as a person, like if you just like you're going through a phase whereby you want to know what journeys are for other people, what their journeys, what actually they have to go through. That's like the video that you need, because like with this I'm gonna literally walk you through how I got into the forex market at the age of 19 and then how I was able to evolve and stuff now. So but before that happens, obviously I want you guys to do one thing for me before I sit down, because I'm gonna be sitting down here, we're gonna be having a chat, you and I want you guys to do one thing for me. Just make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Obviously you can see that we are going for over 250,000 subscribers, and I know we will get there with the help of you. And at the same time, comment below what it is that you want me to also speak about. Some of the questions that you do comment below, I do observe them, and then I do get to make topics about them just so I can be able to help you out. So just comment below, tell me, and then let us get straight into the topic of today. So guys, I'm literally happy to be talking about this because I know that for sure it's going to be helping out someone out there. The same video that I'm doing now is the same video that I actually needed to hear someone speak that has been able to walk through this journey, or someone that has already been able to achieve, you know, some experience when it comes to this. So I was like, you know what, hopefully this is definitely gonna help a lot of people out there, so why not share my story. So obviously guys, I started trading at 19 years old, somewhere around those ages, you know, 2017. And while I did trading at that time, it was a bit more tough because, you know, things such as like, you know, smartphones or even internet connections and all those things were a bit more expensive for people like us, you know, because obviously, you know, I'm still in college at the time. I can't even afford, you know, things such as data, and not even that, but you know, just by being able to have a cell phone that's gonna allow me to be able to trade was a hassle, because I didn't have a phone at the time. I only had one of those smallest phones that you get at any store for literally less than 100 rands, like 150 somewhere around the time. So obviously, you know, I had to just sit down with my mom and just like explain to her what actually it is that I want or I need from her, which was help into getting a phone. And that's all that I actually needed at that time, because a phone is actually one thing that was going to be able to help me be able to learn about the markets and even focus a bit more on trading, like, you know, going trading and stuff. So what actually happened, like how I actually came into understanding what the forex market is like I did say, I once said this part whereby I once saw, like, you know, a friend's mom trading, and you know, she was actually trading, like, you know, IQ options and stuff, but she explained to me what currencies are or forex market is, and then that just gave me like a broad understanding of what's going on. But the fact that, like, you know, she was able to make money on a cell phone, for me was like, I need to learn the thing. I don't care what it is, I don't care what happens, I need to learn that. And the fact that it's not even easy, it's a bit more complicated to understand, it means that once I do get to understand it, I'll be able to, you know, make the most out of it. So that's when I went out there. I got the name was called forex market. So I got out there, I started searching what is forex. Obviously we all start there. They started giving me different types of videos. This is forex, this is how it works. So then, like, I started like just searching a bit more. I was like a bit more into the what is forex side, up until I started believing that, oh, okay, no, this thing is actually a legit thing. Because at first you need to understand if that business model that you're trying to get into, if it is legit. Once you get there, okay, this is legit, that's when you can start learning on how can you make money from it, what do you need to do, where do you go, 1 2 3, understand. But you need to firstly understand how legit is this thing. So after I got my legit, like after I believed that it's actually possible for people to make money out of here, I started searching, you know, success stories, started seeing, you know, different types of people from like literally all over the world that have been able to find success trading the forex market. And then I would listen to them, I would hear their mindsets, I'll just see what actually it is that they have going on in their minds currently and what they had in their minds before, just so I can be able to see where I relate to and where I don't relate to. So some of these people, obviously others I didn't relate with, so I had to just filter them out. And the ones that I found, like, you know, value from, the ones that I related to and I understood, I literally stuck with them. I started learning a bit more from them, started taking more information on how forex works from those people, and then like that literally changed and helped me massively. But at the age of 19 years old, when I got into it, The first thing that I done was, like, obviously on Google you'd get, like, what is forex. There will be different types of websites that would come with different information. I'll go into them, then I'll join these newsletters, forums, your baby peeps. Obviously we all have to go through all those steps that are going to help us to move forward. There's also one I forgot what it is, that had like tutorials, but the name is pforex.com. That actually helped me out a lot, because like they had like beginner lessons. They were not too long, short, but like a lot of lessons about everything, even though it wasn't like too deeply explained, but it gave me an understanding, you understand. So, and that's one of the things that I went through. So I went through understanding what the market is, how it works, what actually influences the market, how can I make the most out of it, what is like a normal trader's life like. I had to study all these things just to be able to see if this is for me. And guess what, I did study it. And then I was still in college at the time, so it was a bit more difficult for me to be able to manage college and also manage my trading side. So eventually I had to decide where I'm going there. So I had to decide if I'm going for focusing a bit more on my studies, because at the time I was even writing exams late 2018. But also I had to also observe on the side, should I also focus more on understanding what the market is like, just so I'm able to maybe make the most. What if I make it in the forex market and I'm able to help out my family? Those are the thoughts that I actually had going on. And guess what I done, guys? Guess what I done? I legit didn't even think twice or three times about it. I just went into the markets. So I was like, school, that was my dad's choice, my mom's choice. They wanted me to do these specific courses and all those things. That's not for me. I've never seen myself, graduating from school. Like, as much as maybe if my dream was to graduate, I would have went to school. Not that I have anything against it, just that it has never been my dream to graduate at school. So I was like, okay, no, let me put this aside. Maybe I'll see it in the near future. Like, maybe when I'm like down the line, I'll come back, do school things and stuff. But for now, let's be real. What's actually going on? We need money. We need this. We need this. We need this. There's no time to be, going to school when or your stomach is empty and stuff. So that was like the only thing that I had going on in my mind. So I was like, you know what? Let me focus a bit more on the forex market. As long as I was able to see some people were able to make it, why can't I? Obviously, I can make it. So we started trading on the forex market. We started going into forex. I started learning a bit more about it. I'm excited. Obviously, I don't have to tell you where I am now in the journey, because most of you guys do know. But today, literally just today, we were able to close over 13,000 rands, like from just a few minutes trading. Even shared it in our premium teams, and like we took the trade on US30. We took a buy actually on US30, and then it just spiked all the way upwards, and like within a few minutes NFP came, and then like it just even spiked more upwards. And I was like, wow, okay, let's take profits, guys. We're done for the day. So 13k, 13,000 rands we were able to make just today. Imagine now if I didn't make this decision, where would I have been now with my life now? So it's not like maybe I would have been much more successful that side. I could have got a job, became a supervisor, I don't know. But you understand that I'm just showing you that the path that I was able to take, I'm a bit more comfortable with it, because it's not me just putting in too much work. It's just being able to get that freedom of doing what I love, and also having a lot of time on my side. Sorry about that. On my side, to be able to figure out what it is that I want to continue doing there. So that's what I actually done. So obviously, like 2018, I mean, that was like after I dropped out of school. Like as soon as January, didn't go to school anymore. They actually forced me to, they wanted to register all those things. I was like, please give me that money. You guys don't understand. And they obviously, my dad didn't. But for that year, I kept on just pushing, doing my own things, trying to see what it is that I can do on my side to be able to flip the situation into how I want it to be. The only thing that I could do was study as much as possible. I could just trade and study, like learn the market, see how the market is moving, put a lot of attention into my growth of understanding the whole concept of the market, and being able to capitalize the most from the market. By doing so, it helped me be able to find different types of mentors. There were mentors that would day trade, swing trade. There were mentors that would that focus a bit more on the psychology. There were different types of mentors, and then that helped me be able to see the mentor side of things. And then while doing so, while I'm learning about this information, started knowing that regardless of me trying to just master the market, how they move, looking at the graphs and stuff, I should also focus on my mind, my personal development, because how I see the charts, how it moves, how I react It's all up to how I feel and how I think about that. So that taught me to be able to go through that. So at that time I was like maybe 20 years old. Yeah, I was somewhere around 20 years old. And then came then came during the year, I was able to actually make a few profits on the markets. I was able to go from literally just 3 months. I think I pulled over 350,000 rands from the markets, and I was like super excited at the time because I'm what 20 years old, and I just pulled 350k, and I'm just chilling. I'm still in the hood at the time. I'm still at home. I have nothing going on my side, so it's not like I have a lot of responsibilities. But at the time, obviously, when you make as much money as that and you've never seen that much money, there will be things that are gonna come and go. So I started getting into different types of businesses, thinking that I'm investing, but because of my lack of knowledge towards that, I eventually lost most of the money, which brought me back into negatives. I was now back in debts, even because I was now back into I was owing money, I was doing this, and investments not paying out, all those different types of things. So now, going through that phase, I noticed something. I actually noticed the fact that it's hard to trade when you are not mentally stable. Like when you're going through a hard time, or when you're just overthinking specific stuff, it's hard to place trades, it's hard to make profits, it's hard to manage losses, it's hard to just even manage trades. So that was a bit more challenging, which I had to come up with a plan. I literally had to come up with a plan at this time. I sat down, I thought about it, and then I was able to come up with a plan. I asked myself, what is it that I done back then that actually was able to help me accumulate 350, even though I lost it? But what is that one thing that I done that actually helped me accumulate it, instead of hey, I'm bad, seeing negative things? Because obviously I'm good at making, but I'm not good at keeping. So now I had to see what it is that I done to make, just so I can start learning on how to keep. Then I noticed that my eagerness for knowledge, me just wanting to learn more about the markets, me just wanting to learn more about me just being able to stay dedicated towards the mission on a daily basis. That's the one thing that actually was able to show me just some small success, which now and as soon as I made that much money, I started slacking a bit more about different things. I started being a bit more confident, started feeling a bit this way and all those things. So I told myself, okay, you know what, let me go be that kid that I was last year, a year ago, so I don't get distracted by certain things. So I went back into the same process, started hustling a bit more, started reading, started focusing more about trading books, the Trading Coach. At that time I was even reading Trading Coach. I was reading, Naked Forex. I read it before that. I was reading trading books, psychology ones even, instead of just normal books. And then I went into also just understanding how to stick with one strategy no matter it gives me wins and losses. Then I got that. Then I also started focusing a bit more on what it is that I need to do in order to just stay longer in the game. Because at that time I had a big account, then I lost it all. But I wanted to know what it is that I need to do in order to stay long. I don't want to make a lot of money and lose it. That was not security for me, because I've got a daughter. 10 years down, 20 years down the line, I still have to be able to have income from this. So I need to start thinking of ways that will be long term. Then I started learning more about risk management, risk strategies, things that come with risk, being able to just manage my capital, just so it can be able to grow and compound in the later months or years. And I started focusing more on that. And within a year from the time, guys, I won't lie, a lot of things started to happen. Not even a year, because at the time, 2, 3, 4 months down the line, I was able to buy my first car, which is a Polo sedan. I got it. And one thing that I like about that is that at the time I didn't buy it for me being able to move from point A to point B. I was still comfortable with taxis, not too comfortable, but I didn't mind. I didn't mind jumping in a taxi just to go get my things done. At the end of the day, I need transport, so that was the only option that we had. But the fact that now I was able to buy myself a car at 21, is it 21? Yeah, I think 21 years old, 22 last year. Yeah, at 21, the fact that I was able to buy myself this car at 21 years old, it was able to open up new things. That's when I was like, okay, no, what it is that I can do. Then I got into different types of businesses, I put it down into Taxify. I was the one personally driving the car, but even though while I was driving it, I kept on staying focused on one thing. During the time whereby I was driving, hustling, doing my things, I would be trading. Whenever I don't have any clients on in the car, I would be trading. And then I would also be reading some books, some trading books, some also personal development books, just so I'm able to, grow and become better. Eventually, 1 month down the line, I saw that Taxify business model wasn't for me, so I had to eventually leave and focus 100% now on trading, because the days whereby I would make a lot of money than I would when it comes to Taxify. I would make that in a day from just trading. So that's when I saw that no, I'm spending a lot of my time doing this, but it's not giving me most of my returns. Let me focus on this thing. That's when I started investing more in the markets. I started getting bigger screens, just so I'm able to see the markets a bit more clearer. Started paying for my premium products, such as your trading views, such as tools that I'm going to be needing in order to help my business, because now I could see that okay, Forex now it became a business. I'm making this much average a month, and I have also some expenses that I'll be running cost for my business. So those are such things, small things, even they're not too big compared to now. And then while doing that, obviously that helped me to be able to just open up my mindset towards what can I do, what are the rewards that I can actually achieve or experience from this. Then just by moving forwards, I started learning a bit more about mastering one specific thing. I started learning a bit more about mastering one specific thing. So imagine from 19 years old, I was looking at the fact that now I'm trying to understand the markets. I'm looking at the broader side of things, what's happening. There's a lot of things. There's shares, stocks, ETFs, currency index, all those things. What do I do? But when you start being involved in it, when you start being in that experience, you're going to be able to see what actually does work and what doesn't work. So the first thing that I'm going to say now is that obviously you need to start with the journey. Once you do get to start, that's when a lot of things are going to unfold. When you go to school, you don't know what's going to happen for the GA. You think that maybe it's going to be tough, but as soon as you do some small steps, at the end of the year you have passed, you progress to the next grade. So it's the same thing with that in the markets. Once you start, then you'd be able to move forward. So I done that, and then now deep down in my journey, 21 years old, I got into understanding one thing named indices. So I came across what they call indices. I saw different traders trading it, finding success, but I knew about it before. I just put it aside because I've never seen anyone gain success trading it. I didn't know anyone gaining success trading it. But when I started seeing people doing so, that's when I was like, you know what, let me just privately test this and see if it does work out for me. I tried it a month, didn't work out too well. And then the next month I came back, boom, I made a lot of money. I tried it just this month, I blew that account, didn't work out too well. The next month we put in 5K, and the other account I had 3K, no, 1,000. I had 1,000, 5K, so it was 6,000 total initial investment. On the 5K account, I was able to make over 40,000 rands in just 3 days. And also on the 1,000 account, I was able to make I think 11,000 in just those 3 days. So I was able to, with an investment of 6,000 rands, I was able to flip that to I think it's 40 and 50, 51, 52. I was able to flip that into 52K within a period of 3 days. I pulled some profits, I bought myself a new phone, I done this. There's a lot of things that I took care of. Then I started going okay, I need to master this thing. What are these things? Then I went into getting more information about, the index market, learning about it as a whole. Unlike just wanting to trade it, I wanted to understand what makes up the index market, what actually does move the index market, what should I follow, what are the top companies that I should follow, what are the tools that I need in order to become successful trading these things, who is successful trading the index market that I can follow and look up to. And I started looking into all those things. And then I won't lie, just what I pushed it, and then within a few months from there, I started trading a six-figure account in rands. And then it was one of the first times I was trading an account that I built from all the way down into 6 figures, and nicely that I built nicely, not too quick, understand, and not disrespecting risk. I was actually respecting risk, even though I made so much profits. And then when I got into that 6 figure, it changed my mindset in a certain way. It allowed me to start being able to have this specific feeling towards money as a whole, being able to just, as much as I tried to make money, but I detached some of my emotions towards the money that I was making. So I didn't have problems if I lose 3K or 5K in a day, because I know the rewards that I'm able to see in the longer term picture. That's what it actually helped me with. And deep down, when I was at 4 months after that whole scene, which was around June 2020, yeah? June 2020, last year, was it? Yeah. I bought one of my favorite cars, or the car that I actually loved, my Mercedes-Benz. I've been working hard to get that car, and as soon as I got it, for me, it was even still a bit more tough or hard. It wasn't simple. Even when I bought that car, and it was a bit tough because I was still hustling at the time. So even when I bought it, it was the thing of, I need to see if this thing is really working out for real. But when I started seeing myself driving it, I started believing more. I know I did believe before, but that allowed me to have a belief. Like, when it's simple to believe in something, like let's say when you believe in something, yes, you can believe that it's working out because you're seeing other people. But when you start seeing some of the things that you're doing leading you in the right direction, that's when you are more to believe in that specific thing. So that's what it actually allowed me to do. I started believing in that, and then I was able to make some specific moves on which now I won't be speaking about. There's been a lot of moves that we were able to make even within the past few weeks and months that are big, that I didn't even speak about, but I guess I'll share that for another moves. Like I'll share that for another video, because there's a lot of investments that I'm now getting into. There's a lot of business models that I'm now investing in, but investing in the currency, in the forex market was the best thing that I actually done, because it literally took me from being a 19-year-old broke kid that didn't know anything about life, that just went through understanding the school system, that was just used to making small money from just selling packets of sweets, chips, and all those things, to literally being able to move out from where I used to stay at home in the hood, to being able to become financially free, I would say, because it's not like every month I'm thinking, what should I, like, I'm thinking money problems and stuff. It was able to like the amount of money doesn't matter. The fact that you're able to become financially free is what matters most, because a lot of people do make money but they are not actually free. But there's people that actually do make comfortable money but they are actually free. And looking at my daughter in the eyes, knowing that she's sorted, she's safe, she's comfortable, 1 2 3, makes me happy. Being able to see myself help out at home, being able to see myself contribute to other people, being able to see myself do a lot of things for a lot of people is one thing that actually helps me out. Also be able to see the positives out of it. So one thing that I want to say to you watching this video, whether you are still trying out trading the forex market, whether you are on your journey and you're thinking that it's not working out, whether you are you're about to jump into the breakthroughs are going to happen if you don't quit, if you don't stop. They are eventually going to happen. It can take longer, it can be quicker, but a breakthrough will eventually happen, no matter where you are, whether you are in deep down in inside a shack, or you're in a huge house, whatever. But a breakthrough is something that's going to happen if you just stay consistent towards you pushing in the markets there. And investing in trading is one thing that actually is amazing, because you will be able to just trade anywhere, anytime, and not have to report to anyone else, and not wait for a specific salary at a specific time. If you are used to having 20,000 every month come in at this specific time, then maybe it will be a bit tough for you. But if you're one person that you know that if you put a lot of work in, you're gonna get a lot of rewards. If you don't, if you are that person, because I'm like that, I believe in, if I put a lot of work, I need to get more. And if I don't, it should show, my results should show. If you're like that, obviously, then I think trading is one thing that's going to help you out a lot and massively. But at the same time, guys, watching this video, I take it that you like the message that I send out there. You like the way that I instruct, me teaching some of the moves that I see in the markets, me explaining some of the things that I have, which is why I'm going to offer you guys a chance to become a part of the 3.0, the premium 3.0. The link will be left in the description box. Obviously, once you see that you're that person that would like to flip your income into any situation that you'd like to turn it into by trading the forex market, then it means that this is actually for you. Make sure that you go in the description box, check it out, and see if it will work out for you or not. At the same time, comment below, tell me guys what you guys think, explain to me where you are on your journey. If you did experience a breakthrough, tell us your story, just so other people out there are able to be inspired by not only me, but also other people that are finding success from trading the forex market. So boy, this is Mutupi. I'm glad that you watched up until this very end. I will see you in the next video.